Hey guys, it's Mariz here. I just wanted to talk to you and vlog about my weekly updates and what's going on with me as a travel nurse here in California. So, number one topic that I wanted to talk to you about is regarding my two pets. So we have Buddha and Einstein with us, which is really special because we get to be with our dogs and we love them so much and we get to hang out with them every day. And they're there for us whenever we need them and we can cuddle and snug and all that fun stuff. However, there are pros and cons to bringing your pets when you go to do traveling assignments. For example, number one, they have a lot of energy, they require a lot of time, a lot of focus sometimes. There's no particular order of my pros and con list, but I'm just gonna blurt it all out. Always think about their playtime and what they need for their energy, because they have a lot of energy built up whenever they're stuck in an apartment, because Jay and I are currently renting right now. So we try to take them on their daily walks, and we also try to take them to a local dog park, which is really fun. It's like 5 minutes away. I'm probably showing you a video right now of what it's like. They're probably hanging out and running around and they're having a great time always. It's an off-leash dog park too, which is really, really cool. Another comment that I want to mention is regarding having 2 dogs instead of 1 dog. Buddha is a little older, she's 6 years, and Einstein is about 1 year old. Buddha and Einstein have each other, which is good. So what Jay and I always say is 2 dogs are better than 1. They can keep each other company, and we play some music in the background, and sometimes we find them kind of like sometimes we find them like running around chasing each other, which is always good because dogs are social creatures and so are we, so they have each other, so which is really cool. Number 3 is having the house puppy proof is a very, very important factor to realize. Einstein has already done her damage. She's already chewed up some stuff and scratched things off, and we do have a pet deposit, which is also another factor that you need to consider. Sometimes they do like a $500 pet deposit, and if you have 2, it's like $750 depending on where you live. So the first comment I want to talk about is having puppy proof. We do have a cage for Einstein, and she's kind of grown out of it. It's a big cage, but we don't really like to cage her up as often as we used to before. She's hit her 1 year mark, so we've kind of like chilled her out, and like she doesn't go in so much. However, on her free time, Buddha and Einstein still go in there because they feel safe, and it's a type of personal house for them. With that said, we don't cage Einstein up often, so she's already ripped up like the flooring of certain areas, some carpet. She chewed things up, so Jay and I have to kind of like MacGyver away on how to fix things and make things look better, and like paint over it, do this, touch this up, vacuum this, vacuum that, and patch things up. So it's not the worst thing. However, it could affect the deposit. Speaking of our deposit with our dogs, we have them registered as our emotional support animals, which we are very, very lucky to have that approved, because every deposit of every apartment we've gone in, it does affect, you know, like our cash flow and our like budgeting when we go to different places. So when you have an emotional support animal or an ESA pet, you can waive the deposit fee. So it's really an advantage to bring your dog in as an emotional support animal because it can waive the deposit fee. So consider that, and it's pretty cool. If you have any questions, comment them down below and we'll let you know how we got that done for our dogs. So the other thing, another factor that you want to consider is potty training. We bring them down, so Jay works an 8-hour shift and I work a 12-hour shift. So for 8 hours, they're by themselves and we play some background music. I know that sounds crazy, but they can hold it in. They're very well trained. Buddha knows the drill, but Einstein, she's still learning. For the most part, that's why she chews up random things. She's used to having so much freedom in our Palm Springs house. Just the first few weeks, you definitely have some accidents here and there. For us, Einstein was like, oh, do I go here? Do I go there? And we're like, no, 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 no. you go downstairs when we take you downstairs and we take you to the grass. So keep that in mind if you're thinking of bringing your dog, knowing where to potty train them and what to expect, and you know, not really getting mad at them, but just educating them and training them of where the restroom is and having the patience for that, because every location, it's a different spot where they should pee. Another comment that we'd like to say is although we are traveling nurse and traveling PTA, we have our dogs in our house, in our apartment. So what that means is after our shift, we can't really just go on a 2-hour drive towards the coast, or 2 hours to or 3 hours to San Francisco or Yosemite, because we have our dogs. And we don't have an RV, which is our hopeful goal, but we don't have the luxury of traveling in between our work schedules. After work, Jane and I always go home, we check on the dogs, we take them for a walk, and we just hang out at home, which is perfectly fine because we're saving up money, we're trying to budget for our next trip, but overall, we can't do like a spontaneous trip because we don't have an RV and we don't have someone to watch over our dogs. Like, we don't know anyone in Bakersfield who's like, hey, can you watch our dogs for the weekend? Or like I tell my sister, hey, can we drop off the dogs for the week and we're gonna go somewhere and travel? It's not like that. You need to know who you trust and who you can trust with all of our home appliances and all of our expensive stuff and our, you know. So those are the thoughts that I have for my pets, and if you're considering bringing your pets over, those are like 6 or 7 thoughts of finance, of emotional things, of how it's so great to have them. I definitely can't imagine doing traveling assignments without them with us. If they couldn't go, then I probably wouldn't have done any traveling assignments. So take that into consideration. Those are your loved ones, those are your babies, these are my fur babies, and this is our family. Fast forward to more thoughts about where I am as a traveler nurse. I have been working for about this is my 6th week here in Bakersfield. 6 out of 26, I'm like 1/6 done? I don't know if that's right. But I am a month in. I've gotten used to the charting system. Well, the charting system is a little archaic, a little old to get used. It's like the last of the last charting systems that are so weird and so complex. The hospital has Open Vista. If you've ever used it, oh my gosh, it's very, very complex. It's a lot of clicking, a lot of random things. And they're moving to Cerner. The hospital, yay, I'm happy for them, but I won't be here when they move to Cerner. But I'm happy for them because Open Vista is like, what am I doing? Where do I click? What do I do there? And they have a portion of paper charting, which I'm not used to either. I did paper charting in as a skilled nursing facility, but that was like 6 years ago. So paper charting, oh God. How's my traveling assignment so far? I think my traveling assignment is going very well. Everyone is very nice. The patient population is interesting. A lot of homeless, a lot of substance abuse. In this area, a lot of people from LA moved to Bakersfield. So you get like a blended group of so many different people. It's really cool in a sense, but education-wise as a nurse, I need to know a lot of different languages, or we use a translator line, which is really important, but it's hard for me to communicate education because I love educating patients on how to take care of themselves. So when you ask about the facility and you do the interview process, think like, hey, do you guys have a translator line? So there's no discrepancies of like consent forms, and it's kind of covering your own behind when you're like understanding that this person understands my education and consenting and all that stuff. I am hired in this hospital in Bakersfield for a 6-month assignment, and I'm a med-surg tele nurse. I'm a med-surg tele nurse, but they have floated me to a postpartum unit. I have trained in the NICU. I have trained and floated to the direct observation unit, which has trach patients and vented patients. I have just done plain med-surg, and I've just done plain tele. it is like a whirlwind of different lifespan care. So from babies to postpartum babies to like vented adults to like, it's pretty scary. I think if I really felt unsure, I would refuse, absolutely refuse, but I kind of like it. It's kind of fun, and it's kind of like to my advantage because I can be like, hey, if I leave California, I could be like, I think I want to be a NICU nurse, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. I'm feeling the NICU, I'm kind of understanding a little bit more about babies, but you know, there's so much in nursing that I'll find out my niche when I settle down and finally get a house and settle down with Jay. It's not bad. I'm almost positive it could be so much worse, and I could like not trust my coworkers, I can have things stolen, I can have like politics involved, and they're like, oh my god, another travel nurse, you know? And there are different facilities that feel that like animosity towards travel nursing, and this hospital that I'm working in definitely doesn't, I don't get those vibes at all whenever they're there. As a postpartum nurse, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a med-surg nurse. They're like, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of it. This is what you should do. Hey, did you do that? Don't forget to do this. And I'm like, oh my god, like, oh yeah, the Q4, you know, fundus check. And I'm like, what, a fundus? Oh, you know, did you do that bilirubin on that baby? And I'm like, oh, the bilirubin transcutaneous, right? It's a 12-hour mark that you do that thing. And I'm like, what? Oh yeah, all in all, my 6th week here, very good stuff, very good vibes. And that wraps up my little vlog about my traveling adventures here on the week 6 mark. If anybody has a question, anybody has comments, put them down below. I really appreciate you listening to my little rant about my dogs and how to handle pets, how I'm doing as a travel nurse. I'm really happy that I'm getting paid every week and bills are getting paid and my life is a little bit more organized depending on the depending on what I'm talking about. So yeah, thanks for watching. You can like and subscribe this video, I'd appreciate it, and have a great day. Bye.